for more analysis on this, let's go ahead and bring in Jamil Jaffer, founder and executive director of the National Security Institute. Jamil, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me.
So Erdogan's re-election obviously has major implications, especially for NATO. Turkey really does not want Sweden to become part of the alliance. Why is that?
Well, you know, they claim that Turkey has provided too much support for the Kurds. The Kurds are viewed as a terrorist organization within, or parts of the Kurdish organization are viewed as part of terrorist organizations within Turkey. Of course, they've been strong supporters of the United States and helped us in our war against ISIS. So there's a difference of views about the Kurdish people and particular parts of the Kurdish people within Turkey and within the larger NATO alliance.
A short time ago, if we can pull up this video in a minute here, President Biden was asked about Erdogan's re-election and the potential for Turkey to kind of use Sweden's membership potentially in NATO as some political leverage. Here's the president. Take a listen.
I spoke to Erdogan. I congratulated Erdogan, and he still wants to work on something on the F-15s. I told him we wanted to deal with Sweden until I get that done. And so we'll be back in touch with one another.
Okay. So it sounds like there might be a potential deal to be discussed about maybe the U.S. working some F-15s over to Turkey in return for maybe giving the green light for Sweden's admittance into NATO. Do you think Turkey's going to use this as some leverage?
Well, that's exactly what's likely to happen. We've seen the Turks want upgrades to their F-16 fighter fleet. They were kicked out of the U.S. F-35 program because of their purchase of Russian-made S-400 missiles. Now, they want F-16s to make up for this. They've already got a huge fleet. They're the third largest fleet of F-16s in the world, but they want the Viper upgrades. That's a big upgrade package. They also want to buy about 40 new F-16Vs, and so that's part of what this debate is about. Will they get access to those new model F-16s? And that's part of the leverage that the president is trying to utilize to get Turkey to agree to Sweden coming into the NATO alliance.
And what impact do you think this is going to have on the war in Ukraine? We just saw before we introed you that Erdogan has kind of portrayed himself as a deal maker, a broker, if you will. He's been on video meeting with Putin. He's been on video meeting with Zelensky. What kind of an impact do you think his re-election will have on the war in Ukraine?
Well, you know, this is the real challenge because Ukraine, in a lot of ways, Turkey really has played both sides of the Ukraine war. They're working with the Russians, trying to get these grain supplies out of Ukraine. At the same time, they're supplying the Ukrainians with drones. And so they've played a little bit of footsie with both sides, just like they have with NATO, buying Russian S-400s, buying American-made F-16s. So, you know, the Turks see themselves, and Erdogan himself sees himself as a deal maker in this. The key part of this operation is he's got to be part of the NATO alliance. He's got to come over to the U.S. side and make clear to the U.S. he's willing to work with us. He's pushed back a lot of the United States over the years. There are people who say he might be willing to work with us. We've now put that to the test and see whether that's actually true.
And last question here, about 30 seconds left before we wrap up. Just explain the significance of Turkey. I understand, I think they've got the second largest military in NATO, so they're a big strategic partner in the area. 30 seconds, just explain why Turkey is so important as an ally to the United States.
Well, that's exactly right. It's like Alex said. They sit right at that crossroads of Europe and Asia. Like you pointed out, they've got the second largest military in NATO, and they are home to part of the U.S. nuclear fleet. There are U.S. nuclear weapons there on Turkish territory, one of only 5 countries outside the United States that hold U.S. nuclear weapons.
Straight and to the point. Jamil Jaffer, thanks for your time today. Happy Memorial Day. We'll talk to you soon.
Same to you.